Good afternoon. Italy's Interior Minister has said the man suspected of carrying out the attack on a Christmas market in Berlin has been shot dead in Milan. Police said the 24-year-old opened fire on police officers during an identity check. A police officer was injured in an exchange of gunfire.
3 a.m, Milan. During a routine police patrol in Sesto San Giovanni, a man was stopped and asked for identification. He drew a gun and shot at police officers. The police reacted, shooting the gunman dead. One police officer was injured, but his life is not in danger. It emerged the dead man was Anis Amri, the suspect wanted for driving a lorry into a Christmas market in Berlin. His fingerprints matched those found inside the truck used in Monday evening's attack.
After an investigation, it was found that the person killed was, without a shadow of a doubt, Anis Amri, the suspect in the Berlin lorry attack.
Anis Amri.
I believe that what happened at Sesto San Giovanni clearly underlines the importance of increased control over our territory, of cooperation among security forces and armed forces, and cooperation at an international level.
Amri was filmed at a mosque in Berlin hours after the attack. The video was taken by police officers on a stakeout at the mosque. Amri was not a suspect at the time. It's reported in Italian media that Amri had travelled by train from France to Turin and had then taken another train to Milan. The 24-year-old from Tunisia had served time in an Italian prison for setting fire to a refugee centre in 2011. When he was released, he was asked to leave the country, arriving in Germany where he applied for asylum. A German Interior Ministry spokesperson said Germany is relieved at confirmation of his death in Italy. Petula Martin, RTE News.
A Libyan airline has confirmed that a passenger plane with more than 111 passengers on board was hijacked and forced to land in Malta. Reports say the Airbus A320 was on an internal flight when it was diverted. It's understood a hijacker claimed to have a hand grenade. Within the past few minutes, 25 of the passengers have been allowed to disembark from the plane. The senior Garda officer in charge of policing in Dublin has said everything possible is being done to bring to justice the killers of a 62-year-old man who was shot dead in the west of the city last night. Assistant Commissioner Jack Nolan described the murder of Noel Kerwin as a horrific and vicious killing, and he said every line of inquiry is being pursued.
Armed Gardaí on the streets of Dublin today following the latest feud-related murder. Noel Kerwin was shot dead last night here in the driveway of his partner's home at St. Ronan's Drive. The lone gunman was then driven away in this white Pajero partner van, which was found burnt out at Neilstown Shopping Centre. Today, the officer in charge of policing Dublin moved to reassure the public that everything possible is being done to bring the killers before the courts.
This is a horrific crime. Again, a vicious killing of a gentleman getting out of his car, going into his family home. An Garda Síochána is following every line and every avenue of investigation at this point in time. As you know, there have been a number of killings across the city throughout this year. Significant progress has been made in them all, and I'm confident that we will make progress in this case too.
The newly established Armed Support Unit provided increased security today in the area where the murder took place. Detectives are waiting to interview Noel Kerwin's partner, who was in the car with him when he was shot dead. She wasn't hit or hurt, but remains severely traumatised. Noel Kerwin was a long-time friend of Gerard Hutch. His house was attacked over the summer and he had been warned by the Gardaí his life was in danger. And it's a characteristic of this feud that it's not just the gang members or those directly involved in it that are being targeted. Innocent people, family members and old friends are also being shot dead. Paul Reynolds, RTE News, Ronanstown, Dublin.
2 women have been killed in road crashes in the northwest of the country. A 74-year-old woman died after she was hit by a car at Acres, Drumshanbo, County Leitrim yesterday evening. And in County Donegal, a 25-year-old woman died after her car was in collision with another vehicle at Glebe Fawn near Buncrana before 11 o'clock last night. And in County Kildare, a man sustained serious but not life-threatening injuries in a hit and run in Naas after 4 o'clock this morning. Homeless people occupying Apollo House are considering offers of accommodation in hostels. 8 of the 40 people involved have taken up 6-month places with the Father Peter McVerry Trust. The Dublin Homeless Regional Executive say there were 54 empty beds available in the city last night. Earlier this week, the High Court said the building must be vacated by January 11th. On Board Pleanála has approved planning permission for Bord na Móna to continue to operate a power station at Edenderry in County Offaly for another 7 years. An Taisce say the decision does not address environmental concerns about the Bog of Allen and rivers which are protected by the EU.
It was business as usual at the power station at Clonbalog near Edenderry in County Offaly today. But the people who work here have now something to look forward to after Christmas. After news that An Bord Pleanála has given the green light to their continued operations for another 7 years. For the last 12 months, this peat and biomass burning power station has been under a cloud. After a High Court judge ruled the environmental impact of its operations on the bogs and rivers nearby had never been properly assessed. Without planning permission, the station was due to close next February with a loss of up to 200 jobs. Bord na Móna moved quickly to try and rectify the situation, and in a ruling published this morning, An Bord Pleanála granted planning permission with a series of conditions that will see the station wind down its operations in 2023.
There's palpable relief for myself and for the community in Edenderry and in Offaly and in the region. Delighted with the decision by Bord Pleanála guaranteeing their future for at least 7 years. But does, as I said, bring into sharp focus the need for alternative industry to be forthcoming and the need for an enterprise fund from the likes of the carbon tax initiative, I think, has the potential to allow this region be in a position of strength when the inevitable happens in years to come.
An Taisce said they're disappointed with the Edenderry ruling. They say the planning board has failed to demonstrate how it has assessed the environmental impact of Bord na Móna's peat extraction that is still going on. It remains to be seen if An Taisce will challenge the ruling in the courts. Ciara Malili, RTE News, Edenderry, County Offaly.
ESB Networks has said approximately 2,500 customers were without power due to Storm Barbara. The majority of those affected are in County Mayo. The company says the homes and businesses involved should have their supply restored soon. Stena Line says its ferry services are operating as scheduled between Dublin and Holyhead and Rosslare and Fishguard. Irish Ferries has already cancelled 6 sailings between Dublin and Holyhead. Its other services on this route and between Rosslare and Pembroke are operating as scheduled. And that's the lunchtime news. Good afternoon.